Hey guys, today I am trying a tomato planting experiment, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I am planting some of my tomato starts all along the polytunnel here. This is a really nice bed. It's been worked before. And these tomato starts, I thought I had labeled them, and I don't know whether the marker has washed off or if I just didn't label them. But I've been growing these since February, and it's really time to get them in the ground. They've recently looked a little stronger, but they've been out in the polytunnel, so they're acclimated. This is 3 weeks before my frost date, so I don't recommend planting it before your last frost date. But I figure I'm not doing these plants any favors by keeping them in their little cups any longer. And I did pick up, which I've already used, some bell cloches, and they're plastic cloches just from the dollar store, $1.25 each. And I've already used them over my zucchini starts, which are in here in my containers, and on a couple cold nights, and they did just fine. So I figure if I pop these in and it does get cold in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I can always come out here and cover them up at night. But let me show you what I'm going to do and what makes this an experiment. So normally when I plant my tomatoes, I haul in heavy bags of compost and sometimes manure, and it's just a lot of lugging. And this is pre-worked soil, so that will help it. But what I plan to do is to dig a very deep hole and put this at the bottom. And what I have in here is cabbages all chopped up, just plain old cheap green cabbage, and then some half-rotted bananas, which I got on the clearance section in my grocery store. They always have bananas. They're good for banana bread or smoothies. Sometimes they freeze them, use them for smoothies, but today I'm going to put them under my little tomato seedlings. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is I am counting on the worms to come and eat all these goodies, and then when they're finished eating all these goodies that are rotting down way underneath the soil, they're going to be leaving castings. So I'm basically bringing manure right to the plant. Now, I've never done this before, so this will be a part 1 of my experiment, but I'm pretty excited about this idea. It's kind of a compost in place where you bring in your own nutrients. You don't have to carry it. This is a lot lighter than 5 bags of compost to put around each tomato. So, and cabbage is cheap, so I can use it pretty generously. And I'll put a banana cut in half at the bottom of each hole. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. So these were separated from their name tags, but I think they're all large tomatoes. This first batch that I grew is all large tomatoes because my husband wanted some larger tomatoes than we had last year. We had a lot of medium size and cherries, and he really likes those big slicers. So I'm going to get started and dig the holes, and I'll show you how I put this at the bottom. Okay, each hole has a helping of cabbage at the bottom and 1 banana cut in half. So they're all ready to go. I'm going to cover those with dirt. Everything is all prepped for my experiment. And I'm going to go ahead and put some dirt over that and then plant the tomatoes. Put my cages up, and it should be set for a good growing season. And there we go. I finished my tomato planting project along the polytunnel just in time for a little bit of rain to water those in. Hopefully those are going to be nice and happy. And I'm going to do this under all of my tomatoes this year. So I'm hoping I'm bringing compost and manure right to the plant without all that heavy lifting. And it'll certainly cost a lot less to pick up a few cabbages. Maybe some of you have grown them and you don't even need to pick them up at the grocery store. But I think it's going to cost me a lot less, fertilize my tomatoes, and I'm really excited to see what happens. I better get in out of this rainstorm. By the way, I overwintered this hot pepper. It's a Bangkok pepper, and I'm hoping it survives. We'll see. But at any rate, this project is checked off my list, and I'm excited to see what happens. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you're having fun in your gardens.